Could humanity survive a nuclear war? It's a question that haunts our collective consciousness. The very existence of these weapons poses an existential threat. Alliances like NATO are built on the promise of collective defense. But what happens when the weapons involved could obliterate the planet? The stakes have never been higher. We must confront this uncomfortable reality. The horrors of Hiroshima and Nagasaki serve as grim reminders. These events forever seared the devastating power of nuclear weapons into our history. The world watched in horror as entire cities vanished in an instant. Millions perished from the immediate blast and the lingering effects of radiation. The development of nuclear weapons changed the course of history, marking a pivotal moment in human civilization. The Manhattan Project, a top-secret endeavor during World War II, unleashed this terrifying power, forever altering the landscape of global conflict. What began as a race against Nazi Germany quickly escalated into a global arms race, with nations vying for nuclear supremacy. The bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki ushered in the atomic age, an era defined by both fear and uneasy peace, as the world grappled with the devastating power of these new weapons. The Cold War was a period of intense geopolitical rivalry, where the threat of nuclear war loomed large over every international decision. The United States and the Soviet Union engaged in a dangerous game of nuclear brinkmanship, each side pushing the other to the edge. Both superpowers amassed vast arsenals capable of destroying the world many times over, creating a precarious balance of power. The doctrine of mutually assured destruction, or MAD, emerged, positing that the threat of total annihilation would prevent either side from launching a first strike. It argued that the sheer scale of potential destruction served as a deterrent, ensuring a tense but stable peace. Treaties like the Non-Proliferation Treaty, or NPT, sought to limit the spread of nuclear weapons. However, the threat persists, as new challenges and rogue states emerge. Several nations continue to develop and test these devastating weapons, keeping the specter of nuclear conflict alive. The dream of a world free from nuclear weapons remains elusive, a goal that humanity continues to strive for despite the many obstacles. Today, 9 nations possess nuclear arsenals, each with the power to cause unprecedented destruction. The United States and Russia remain the dominant nuclear powers, inheriting the legacy of the Cold War. Their arsenals are the largest and most advanced, a testament to decades of arms race and technological development. China, France, and the United Kingdom round out the original 5 nuclear weapon states recognized by the NPT. These nations have maintained their nuclear capabilities while participating in global non-proliferation efforts. These nations wield immense destructive capabilities, with stockpiles that can obliterate entire cities and alter the course of history. However, the nuclear club has expanded beyond these traditional powers, introducing new dynamics and uncertainties into the global security landscape. India and Pakistan, locked in a perpetual rivalry, both possess nuclear weapons. Their contentious history and ongoing conflicts make this region one of the most volatile nuclear flashpoints in the world. North Korea, under its reclusive regime, has defied international pressure and developed its own nuclear arsenal. This has led to heightened tensions and a precarious balance of power in East Asia. These regional rivalries add another layer of complexity and danger to the global nuclear landscape, making diplomatic resolutions and international cooperation more critical than ever. Alliances like NATO play a crucial role in deterring nuclear conflict. By uniting multiple nations under a common defense strategy, they aim to prevent any single country from acting unilaterally. NATO operates under the principle of collective defense, meaning an attack on one member is considered an attack on all. This principle is designed to maintain peace and stability through mutual assurance. This alliance has served as a bulwark against aggression in Europe, particularly during the Cold War, when the threat of nuclear conflict was at its peak. However, the rise of new nuclear powers and the resurgence of Russia as a military threat pose new challenges for NATO. The alliance must adapt to these evolving threats to continue its mission of maintaining global security. Several volatile regions around the globe could erupt into conflict, potentially escalating into a catastrophic global nuclear confrontation. The stakes have never been higher, and the world watches with bated breath. The ongoing war in Ukraine has heightened tensions between Russia and NATO to levels not seen since the Cold War. The conflict has drawn in international players, each with their own interests and stakes in the outcome. Russia's nuclear saber rattling has raised fears of a miscalculation or intentional escalation. The threat of nuclear weapons being used has become a grim reality that the world must contend with. The Taiwan Strait is another potential flashpoint, with tensions simmering just below the surface. China views Taiwan as a breakaway province and has vowed to reunify the island with the mainland by force if necessary. This stance has only intensified the already volatile situation. The United States has committed to defending Taiwan's autonomy, setting the stage for a potential clash between the world's two largest economies. The geopolitical ramifications of such a conflict would be immense. In South Asia, the long-standing rivalry between India and Pakistan remains a source of instability. The border skirmishes and political tensions are a constant reminder of the fragile peace. Both nations possess nuclear weapons, and their history is marked by wars and near-constant tension. The presence of nuclear arsenals adds a dangerous dimension to their rivalry. Any escalation of conflict between these nuclear-armed neighbors could have catastrophic consequences. The international community must remain vigilant to prevent such a disaster.